It's Thursday, May 11th, 2023. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, jury finds Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation. A Manhattan jury has found former U.S. President Trump guilty of sexual abuse and defamation in a case brought against him by a woman who says she was assaulted and raped by Trump 3 decades ago. That woman, a writer named E. Jean Carroll, was awarded $5 million in damages for the sexual abuse and defamation components of the lawsuit, though the jury didn't feel there was sufficient evidence to prove her claim of rape. More than a dozen women have come forward to accuse Trump of various sorts of sexual misconduct over the past several decades, though this is the first accusation to make it all the way through the court system and to become more than an allegation. Trump's attorney said he would be appealing the verdict. From Axios, Tucker Carlson accuses Fox of fraud and contract breach. About 2 weeks after being officially let go by Fox News, former primetime political commentary show host Tucker Carlson has accused his former employer of fraud and breach of contract and has announced that he will be bringing his show back, but distributed via the Twitter social network, not on a TV channel. It's unclear how this will all play out, but it would seem that this move by Carlson to host a new show on Twitter would violate his contract with Fox News, which would give them grounds to sue him, but also to not pay him tens of millions of dollars he was promised to basically not start a show that might compete with Fox's offerings, and that Carlson's preemptory lawsuit is meant to nullify that contract, or at least create the public perception that he is the one that has been wronged, though we don't really have a sense of what was promised to whom and for what specific behaviors yet. So it could be that he has found a loophole by going on a social network rather than another TV station, but it could also be that he's just happy to risk the potential legal fallout if it'll get him back on the air and in front of his very large audience. And from Reuters, U.S. Representative George Santos pleads not guilty to fraud and money laundering. U.S. Representative George Santos has pled not guilty to an array of federal charges after turning himself in to officials in Long Island. He's been released on a $500,000 bond and could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Santos has apparently been fabricating huge swaths of his life and professional story for years, and he managed to get elected as a Republican House representative in New York. But his story began to unravel as he stepped into the limelight, and his career in office thus far has been defined by a steady stream of reports on lies he has told, investigations into his many fabrications and possible illegal activities, and concerns from members of both parties that he might be taking money from and working for international interests of some kind. He's now been charged with wire fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and making false statements to Congress, and he says he will not step down from his position and still intends to run for re-election. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.